Alright, so Eagles OTAs continue to roll on, and a few different Eagles are preparing to step into much bigger roles this season, and there's good reason to believe that many of them could be in line for a breakout year in 2024. Meanwhile, the Eagles also just signed a former record-breaking speedy wide receiver to the team, so how good of a move was this? And also, a report recently came out saying that backup QB Kenny Pickett is outperforming Jalen Hurts in OTAs, but is there actually any merit to it? We're going to talk about all that and more in this video today, so let's not waste any time and get straight into it. Okay, so let's start out by looking back at some footage from the Eagles OTA practice on Wednesday, as in addition to getting all the footage of Saquon Barkley, which everyone was really excited about, as well as other various videos from Eagles writers and reporters of different guys going through drills, the Eagles social media team released a high-definition video, which I actually showcased at the end of my last video, of returning Eagles safety CJ Gardner-Johnson going through a DB drill. And overall, I mean, this video obviously doesn't really tell us much, but it is just so cool to see CJ back out on the practice field for the Birds, this time rocking the number 8, which he's wearing to honor Kobe Bryant, and we all know the type of energy, swag, trash talk, and playmaking ability that he's bringing back to the Eagles defense and secondary, which they sorely missed last year. So again, it's just so great to see CJ back out there in Eagles green, and drop a like down below for that. But now, moving on to a roster move that the Birds actually just made on Thursday, Howie Roseman went out and signed a new wide receiver as he inked former Bengals and Giants wideout John Ross to a one-year deal, after the former 40-yard dash combine record holder had a tryout with the Birds during rookie minicamp, and apparently it went well enough to the point where after vet receiver Devontae Parker abruptly retired this week, the Birds turned to Ross to replace him. Now, I'm not going to act like Ross is a huge difference maker or even a lock to make the roster, because he has definitely struggled mightily at times during his career to both stay healthy and also produce on the field, hence why he never lived up to the hype of being the number 9 overall pick. But still, I do like this addition just for one because of his sheer speed that he possesses, as when a guy has a trait like that, it can definitely be valuable, but he's also just a guy that can come in, compete for a roster spot. Like, best case scenario, he impresses enough and he barely makes the roster or the practice squad, and worst case, he's just a camp body that eventually gets cut, and it's not like the Eagles are paying him much of anything anyway, so overall, I like the move for what it is, but what do you guys think about it? But now that Ross is with the Birds, he's most likely going to get mainly third and even second team reps, meaning he'll probably match up a decent amount with the Eagles rookie corners in Quinyon, Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean. And if you paid attention to all the news from that first public OTA practice on Wednesday, you know that both of these guys impressed in their own way, with Mitchell making multiple plays on the ball during 7-on-7s, while DeJean was out there playing multiple positions at times, being used on the inside, outside, and also at punt returner. So the hype is definitely real when it comes to these two rookies, and I'm so excited to see how they look throughout the rest of the offseason and going into the season. And apparently, the Birds star veteran cornerback in Darius is excited and impressed as well, as he had some praise for both Mitchell and DeJean during his press conference.
What are your early impressions of Quinyon?
Oh man, great! A lot of great things, man. Quick dude, that's got a quick twitch. I love his off man. I'm a real good at off man. What I do, watch his tape in college for a good minute. I'm looking forward to helping him because I see a great talent in him. Looking forward to seeing him making a lot of plays in for this organization.
How about Cooper? What stands out?
Oh man, good man. He's very athletic, man. As you can see, guys that's versatile right now, man. He was everywhere, and both of them right now just quiet. So I'm trying to get them to talk a little bit, but both of these guys very athletic, very, very talented, man. I'm looking forward to continue to keep working, man. This is my first day with them. And besides watching their film, but seeing them in live person is amazing to watch.
So for one, it's just cool to hear a longtime star like Darius say those things about the rookies, and it's also just awesome that these two get the opportunity to learn from Slay while he's still here. And speaking of that, Slay's definitely not shying away from that as maybe some other guys in the league would, as he's ready to embrace the role of the mentor, which he says is his responsibility.
That's the main thing, to teach him how to be a pro, man. I was talking to him today, just letting him know, man, I'm always here for y'all boys, man. Anything y'all need from me, I got you. I'm here to get on the blueprint of everything to help them make sure they, succeed at this level. That's my job to do. That's what I've always been brought up to do. Definitely, because I'm an older brother, all the siblings. So it's always been my kind of duty to lead in the example way and try to help them and make sure they get the right directions.
I mean, can we just take a minute to appreciate Darius Slay, because some Eagles fans give him a lot of crap and say things like he's a bad leader or that he's selfish, and I just think that that's completely unwarranted, and things like this prove it. So I'm personally grateful to Slay, and I hope his last year or few years here go well, and we can hopefully get him a ring. And then for the rookies, again, it's just so great for them to have him as a mentor, and I just can't wait to see how they benefit by playing alongside him. But now moving on and getting back to OTAs, we got another very exciting clip that I actually didn't get to talk about in my last last video, as of course everyone knows that Jalen Hurts kind of played through injury pretty much all season last year, and it was very clear that he was not at 100% when he was running the football because it just didn't look like he had the same speed or burst that he's had in the past few years. But now we actually got a clip from OTA showing Jalen running, and it looks like, at least from this short clip, that he might actually have his speed back. So that's definitely very, very exciting. But now going from a positive to a negative, we have this report saying that Eagles backup cornerback Kenny Pickett is outperforming Jalen Hurts at OTAs, and the original source of this was from Eagles writer Ed Kratz, who in a recent article said, quote, "The backup quarterback looks sharper than Jalen Hurts, to be honest. Hurts was on the money on his first 2 7-on-7 throws, hitting A.J. Brown on a quick inside slant, then followed up with a nice sideline throw about 15 yards downfield. Pickett, though, was consistently on target. The Eagles can win games with him if something happens to Hurts." And while yes, it is good to hear that the backup is performing well, and it seems like the Eagles could be set at that position, just leave it to the internet and social media to turn this into a negative and make it a big deal for no reason, as certain accounts, mainly ML Football, who was bullied into deleting their post, and other sources have warped this and started posting it around to start unnecessary drama. Now, I do want to point out that this is merely an opinion from one writer that didn't even name any specific throws or plays that Pickett made during the course of practice, while also giving Jalen Hurts credit for performing well. I mean, he didn't say Jalen looked bad, he didn't even say that Pickett outperformed Hurts, he just said that he simply looked a bit sharper. And that's on top of the fact that the entire point of the article was to list overreactions from one OTA practice. And I mean, other tweets and things that I've seen all have praised Jalen for how he looked during one singular OTA practice, and also pointed out a couple times where Pickett had passes knocked away. Now, again, I don't know exactly what happened during this practice and whether or not Pickett actually looked better, but all I know is this. Based on reports, Jalen looked very good, and even if Pickett did look a bit better, that shouldn't mean anything or start any type of QB controversy, because it is literally just one OTA practice, and Jalen's still clearly the guy. Like, one OTA practice is not going to change that or start any sort of controversy, at least it shouldn't, and that's why I hate this so much. I hate the nature of these posts on social media that are just there to try and get clicks and farm engagement and start controversy when there's literally absolutely zero merit to it. But on the other hand, there is merit to the idea that several different Eagles could be set for a breakout season in 2024, and I want to highlight a few of them that have been in headlines recently, starting with center Cam Jurgens, who was named in a recent PFF article as the Eagles' breakout candidate for the 2024 season, as after starting last season at the right guard position, where he was pretty solid aside from a few struggles. Writer Bradley Locker thinks that now that Jurgens will be moving back to his natural position at center, Cam is primed for a breakout year, as he wrote, quote, "The Eagles drafted Jurgens with the intention of being Jason Kelce's long-term replacement at center. Now, the former Cornhusker will slide from guard to center, a position that should be more natural given that he almost exclusively played it at Nebraska. Jurgens struggled a bit in pass protection toward the end of 2023, but already having 2 years of starting experience and working with Jeff Stoutland, of course, renders him an ideal candidate to make a jump." And I really couldn't agree more. I mean, obviously Jurgens did struggle at times last year, which you would expect that given it was his first year as a starter, contrary to what the article says, but so did the whole offensive line at times, especially at the end of the season with just how bad the Eagles' offensive scheme was. And on top of that, Jurgens has the physical tools, the mobility, the size, and the experience to play the center position effectively. And he also seems to have the exact right mentality as he's preparing to take over for the legend Jason Kelce.
I mean, I'm just, at the end of the day, just be myself. You know, I'm not trying to be somebody's replacement or somebody's next person. Like, I'm just trying to be myself. You know, can I be the best football player I can be in wherever position they put me? That's what I'm going to do. I'm not worried about anything else besides what I can control, and I think that's all I got to worry about in the end of the day. You know, I think when you start putting in those perspectives and those terms, and people like to compare, and then it's just, you know, you just put different things on your shoulders that you need to carry, and really it's like, what can I do today? What can I do to learn? What can I do to get better? And how can I be the best football player I can be, and not how can I be what he was? You know, what are we going to do tomorrow? So that's how I got to look at it.
I don't know about you, but I personally think Cam Jurgens is going to be great as the starting center this season, and I wouldn't even be surprised if he made his first Pro Bowl this year, but what do you guys think about that? But now, just going from one offensive lineman to another, let's switch our focus to the second-year man Tyler Steen, as he's entering the year as the projected starting right guard after sitting for pretty much the entirety of his rookie year, but it seems like he's ready for it, as he said that he's ready to go out and earn that starting job, rather than feeling like it's his job to lose.
I know I got to earn every day. You know, I'm not going to be given anything. I got to prove that that I should be able to play. So that's just kind of how I'm looking at it, and how I'll continue to look at it.
On top of having the correct mentality, I really do feel like Tyler has all the tools to be a successful guard at the NFL level, and it's just about putting everything together. I mean, obviously, it's a big adjustment, not just going from college to the NFL, but also transitioning from the tackle position to the guard position, and when he got on the field last year for that Dallas game, he definitely saw some of those growing pains, but at the same time, he started to settle in a little bit as the game went on, and he himself even said that he was not happy with his performance in that game. So I'm confident that he's been working hard to get better, and having an offseason to learn more and just focus on improving is going to be very beneficial for him, and I'm just excited to see how he looks at the right guard spot, assuming he does end up earning that job. But now going to another second-year player who's in a bit of a different situation, we look at Jalen Carter, as unlike Steen, Carter had a big role on this team last year, and he was, for the most part, really, really good. I mean, as a rookie, Carter had 6 sacks, 9 QB hits, 8 tackles for loss, and 2 forced fumbles, which are really impressive numbers for a rookie just coming in, and he was the clear defensive rookie of the year favorite early in the season, but he, along with the rest of the defense, fell off in the second half of the year. But now that he's had this offseason to just focus on improving and developing and getting into shape, I feel like we could definitely see a big jump from him, especially now that Fletcher Cox has retired. So Jalen's going to be forced to step into a much bigger role, and like I've said on this channel before, I feel like Jalen truly has the talent to become a staple of this franchise and be somebody that turns into an Eagles legend and spends his entire career here. He obviously showed promise last year, and now it's going to be about him just taking that next step in his game to become a true star, and it seems like he's ready to do that. As in a recent press conference, he said he wasn't satisfied with how things went during his rookie season, and he's trying to be better.
My first year was okay. It wasn't how I wanted it to end. Yeah, a lot of stuff that I seen on film was a lot of stuff I need to fix, but, you know, it's okay. We're here now, and I'm ready to be better than last year. I've been working on, D-line moves and stuff like that, things that I need to do that I seen last year that I didn't do my best at, which was stop the run and stuff like that. So that's what I've been working on for this offseason. But for right now, I'm working on connection with the team. We got some new faces in there, some good draft picks, and just connecting with those guys, making sure we all together.
So I don't know about you, but I'm definitely glad to hear that Carter isn't satisfied, and he's both working hard to improve himself on the field, but also to connect with the guys in the locker room, because that builds a good foundation. So you guys can give me your predictions down in the comments. Just how big of a year do you expect from JC this season? And also, you guys can let me know your thoughts on anything else that I talked about in this video down in the comments below. And also, while you're at it, if you don't want to miss any other Eagles content just like this, covering the Bergs throughout the entire offseason and heading into the 2024 season, then make sure you subscribe, and also really, really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. We're trying to hit 40,000 subscribers, so if you'd hit the subscribe button, I'd greatly appreciate it. And also, while you're at it, make sure you drop a like. And if you want to watch another Eagles video going in depth on the first public practice of Eagles OTAs, you can check this out right here. And with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.